Okay, welcome to day 7, the final day of the Crochet-A-Long, where we talk about closing up the top of this ugly sweater hat. I am first going to show you how to turn it into a bun beanie, and I'm going to use this coral color. Feel free to use whatever color you want. I'm just using this to make it nice and obvious when I stop, when I'm done with this part, for those of you that just want to know how to sew up the top of your hat. So if you don't care about the bun beanie part, then go ahead and fast forward to the part where I'm just closing it up. So I'm going to insert my hook. You can choose any stitch you want, but we are going to be working in that loop that's left over from the chain that we started with. So I'm going to start just a few before where this tail is, and for those of you working the bun beanie, you can actually cut this a lot smaller now. But I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna insert my hook and I am going to pull up my color, pull it through, and chain 1. So I'm going to work, I'm gonna alternate a half double crochet with a half double reduce stitch. So I'll do 1 half double crochet, 1 reduce. So that, let me do that slow, sorry. You yarn over, insert hook, pull a loop, insert hook into the next stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through all of them. Now I'll do a half double crochet, and now I'm gonna reduce. Make sure you skip over this chain that is the joining chain, or that joining stitch, and you can actually crochet around the tail if you desire. So I need to do a reduce stitch, 2, pull through, and then a half double crochet. You'll keep doing this all the way around, join into the very first stitch you made, and fasten off and weave in your ends. This will make it just a little bit smaller, and if you feel like you need to make it even smaller, then do another round of just half double reduced stitches. And I like to leave just a bit of a room so that a bun actually fits through it. I don't like to have a really tiny, tight opening at the top. I like it just a little bit bigger. So that's how you make it into a bun beanie. And now I am going to show you how I make it into, just close the top regularly. So you'll take your yarn needle and go ahead and thread this through. You have your yarn through your yarn needle, and you want to fold this in half, so you're gonna have to move it around and adjust it. And you're going to sew the top together using these loops. And I am not a seamstress. I don't know the name of stitches. I think it's called the mattress stitch, but use whatever stitch works for you. But you're just sewing, excuse me, you're just sewing the top together all the way across. Make sure you do not pull too tight because you don't want to make this pucker. You want to, excuse me, you don't want to make this puckered. You want this to be flat for what we're going to do with it. right now I'm at the end. Ooh, perfect time. Sometimes you'll need to twist it because it comes untwisted. So now you are going to sew, you're going to connect this side with this side. Just put my needle through, and then you're going to come in and kind of flatten it out. You want it to basically look, like two triangles. And you're going to go back through the one side and then down into the middle of the hat. So it's like two triangles. And then you will put your needle back through and a couple times sew these down to the middle. Doesn't have to be in exactly the same spot, just enough to make sure it's not going to come apart. And after you get that done a couple times, make sure your needle is on the inside of the hat and fold it inside out. Oops, oh, I lost it. I'm gonna use my crochet hook. Hopefully your yarn stays in your needle. And I'm just gonna use my crochet hook and tie a nice tight knot. And I'm gonna do that a couple times just to make sure we don't lose it. After you do that, you can cut it shorter, weave it in, whichever you prefer. But then you can kind of do whatever you want. And it just makes the top flat, gives it a nice look without being puckered. And I just like closing it up that way. It makes it so it's not too plain on the top. This is such a textured hat that the way I wrote it originally with the PDF, the top is just so plain that I didn't like it. So I started closing the tops of hats this way to give it a little extra texture. And then you can also sew on a pom-pom, and it just, to me, it looks so much better. So this is the end of day 7. I hope you enjoyed this crochet along. This is my first ever crochet along. I thought it was appropriate for my first ever written pattern. And please like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any other hats that you really would like to do a crochet along. You can find all of my patterns on Etsy. At ThatCozyFox is Instagram and TikTok, but ThatCozyFox is my shop name on Etsy. Look through my patterns and let me know if there's one that you want to do a crochet along with, and I will try to break it down and do that with you. I'm so excited that you joined me. Thank you, and I hope to join with you again. Have a great day.